The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
A man who works as an automobile recall specialist finds himself trapped in a dull, repetitive life. His job is stressful, requiring him to travel constantly, leaving him jet-lagged and exhausted. Worse, he hasn't been able to sleep for 6 months. To fill the emptiness, he obsessively browses through a furniture catalog, buying items he finds interesting. But no matter what he buys, he still feels unsatisfied. One day, he visits a doctor, hoping for a cure for his insomnia. The doctor dismisses his concerns, saying, "No one ever died from lack of sleep." The man explains that he also suffers from narcolepsy, waking up in strange places with no memory of how he got there. Instead of prescribing medication, the doctor suggests he attend a testicular cancer support group. "If you want to see real pain," the doctor says, "go there." Desperate, the man takes his advice and attends a meeting. Listening to people share their struggles, he feels something shift inside him. Near the end of the session, he meets Bob, an ex-bodybuilder who lost his testicles due to a disease. Bob talks about his past steroid use, his failed marriage, and his bankruptcy. When Bob hugs him and tells him it's okay to cry, the man finally lets go, sobbing into Bob's chest. For the first time in months, he sleeps peacefully that night. Realizing the emotional release helps, he starts attending different support groups even though he's perfectly healthy. The meetings become his sanctuary, his escape from reality. But this newfound peace is soon disrupted by a woman named Marla Singer. Marla, like him, isn't sick. She's another faker, jumping from one group to another. Her presence unsettles him, making it impossible for him to cry and, in turn, impossible to sleep again. One night, he confronts her, threatening to expose her. She shrugs it off and threatens to do the same. They finally agree to divide the support groups between them. Before parting ways, they exchange numbers, in case one of them wants to switch. As Marla walks away, she realizes he never told her his real name. She calls out to him, but he vanishes behind a passing bus. His job remains a burden, forcing him to travel to different cities. On a flight back home, he meets Tyler Durden, a charismatic soap salesman. Tyler captivates him with an odd theory. Oxygen masks on planes exist not to save lives, but to make people high enough to accept death. The man is intrigued. Tyler is the most interesting person he's met in a long time. When he arrives home, he finds his apartment destroyed by an explosion. With nowhere else to go, he calls Tyler, who invites him to a bar. Over drinks, Tyler listens to his woes about losing all his possessions. Instead of offering sympathy, Tyler tells him, "The things you own end up owning you." After several drinks, Tyler makes an unusual request: "Hit me, as hard as you can." Confused but intrigued, the man hesitates before throwing a punch, hitting Tyler in the ear. Tyler retaliates, hitting him square in the chest. Despite the pain, the man feels something he hasn't felt in a long time: exhilaration. They keep fighting, laughing through the bruises. That night, Tyler takes him to his place, a decrepit, abandoned house on the outskirts of town. Their fights outside the bar continue over the next few nights, attracting attention. Spectators become participants. Soon, they move their fights to the bar's basement, and Fight Club is born. Each week, more men join. Tyler lays down the rules. The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. But word spreads anyway, and their underground club grows. One day, the man receives a call from Marla, asking why he stopped attending support groups. He tells her he found a new group, one just for men. She then mentions she overdosed on Xanax, but insists it wasn't a suicide attempt. The man, irritated, sets the phone down without hanging up. Later, he dreams of Marla being intimate with someone, only to realize it wasn't a dream when he sees her in his kitchen. Confused, he asks Marla what she's doing in his house. She storms off angrily. Tyler then appears and reveals that he had answered Marla's call and gone to her place. Now, she keeps coming back for him. Tyler warns the man never to speak to Marla about him. When police show up at Marla's place due to her overdose, Tyler takes her back to the house. Their twisted relationship begins, and the man grows irritated as Marla keeps appearing at the house for Tyler. One morning, the man gets a call from the police who inform him that his apartment fire was caused by homemade explosives. That night, Tyler takes him to a liposuction clinic's dumpster to steal discarded fat, raw material for making soap. Back at home, Tyler explains that soap can also be turned into explosives. He demonstrates lie's power by pouring it onto the man's hand, causing a searing chemical burn. The man tries to escape into meditation, but Tyler forces him to embrace the pain. "You have to accept that one day you will die. Tyler says. Then he neutralizes the burn with vinegar, leaving a scar. At work, the man's boss finds a copy of Fight Club's rules in the copier and confronts him. Instead of denying it, the man threatens him, hinting that he might return to the office one day with a gun. Their argument is interrupted when Marla calls, asking him to check her breasts for lumps. He reluctantly goes to her place, wondering why she reached out to him instead of Tyler. Back at Fight Club, he runs into Bob, who reveals he's part of something new. Though he can't talk about it, the man realizes Tyler is expanding their operations. Later, when the club's existence is threatened by Lou, the bar's owner, Tyler lets Lou beat him up. But instead of fighting back, Tyler laughs maniacally, coughing blood all over Lou until he lets them keep using the basement. Tyler then assigns the members new tasks: pick a fight with a stranger and lose. The man chooses his boss, blackmailing him for hush money. To seal the deal, he beats himself up in front of the horrified manager, recalling the first night he fought Tyler. The plan works. He leaves with a year's salary and flight coupons, allowing the club to expand nationally. Soon, Tyler's assignments escalate. Members vandalize buildings, wreck cars, and cause chaos in the city. One night, Tyler tests the limits of their ideology. He pulls a gun on a convenience store clerk, Raymond, and drags him outside. He asks Raymond what he wanted to be before ending up here. Terrified, Raymond admits he wanted to be a veterinarian but couldn't finish school. Tyler Durden puts a gun to Raymond's head and threatens to kill him if he doesn't start working toward it. Raymond runs away in terror, and as Tyler watches him go, he tells his friend that tomorrow, Raymond will wake up with a newfound appreciation for life. Later, Tyler's friend, the unnamed narrator, discovers that Tyler has built bunk beds in their basement and is recruiting men for a secretive program. To join, applicants must wait outside for 3 days with no food or shelter. Soon, men begin lining up, including a large man named Bob. Once accepted, they are forced into grueling manual labor while Tyler preaches about the evils of consumerism. The narrator is puzzled. Why is Tyler forming an army? His confusion turns to shock when he learns that these men have been setting buildings on fire. The police commissioner takes notice, suspecting underground fight clubs are behind the destruction. One night, Tyler and his recruits crash an official gathering at a fancy hotel. Disguised as waiters, they follow the commissioner into the bathroom and attack him. Tyler threatens to castrate him if he doesn't call off the investigation. Terrified, the commissioner agrees. Tyler reminds him that his followers are everywhere, cooking meals, driving taxis, collecting trash. Then they all disappear into the night. Meanwhile, the narrator feels more like an outsider than ever. Tyler doesn't include him in Project Mayhem's plans. Frustrated, he lashes out during a fight, pummeling one of the recruits mercilessly. On the drive home, he confronts Tyler about keeping secrets. But Tyler, behind the wheel, tells him the project belongs to everyone, not just the two of them. He suddenly lets go of the steering wheel, daring the narrator to stop trying to control everything. The car swerves wildly. The narrator panics but eventually releases his grip, giving in to Tyler's reckless philosophy. They crash into another car. As they crawl out of the wreckage, Tyler grins and tells him they just had a near-life experience. The next morning, Tyler is gone, but his followers keep moving forward with the plan. When the narrator tries to investigate, a recruit tells him, "Don't worry, sir. Everything's under control." Marla shows up at the house, wanting to talk to Tyler, but when she hears he's gone, she leaves. Then, disaster strikes. The recruits return in a panic. Someone has been shot. During a mission to vandalize corporate property, the police intervened. Bob was killed. Devastated, the narrator decides it's time to stop Tyler. Using ticket stubs from Tyler's travels, he flies from city to city searching for him. In one bar, he overhears workers mourning Bob's death. He asks the bartender if he knows Tyler Durden. The bartender stares at him. "You're Tyler Durden," he says. The narrator is stunned. That can't be right. Confused, he calls Marla and asks if they've ever been together. She casually confirms that they have, then calls him Tyler. As soon as the call ends, Tyler appears in the room, disappointed. "We had a deal," he says. Slowly, the memories piece themselves together. The narrator remembers things he's done, things he thought Tyler had done. The shocking truth settles in. He and Tyler are the same person. Tyler explains that he was created as a way for the narrator to escape his dull, miserable life. The sleepless nights, the secret jobs, it was all him. And now, Tyler warns, Marla knows too much. She's a threat to Project Mayhem. They argue, but the narrator is exhausted. He collapses. When he wakes up, he rushes back home, searching for the project's final plans. He discovers that they are targeting major financial buildings. Desperate, he tries to warn the authorities, but it's too late. Tyler's men have infiltrated everything. Failing to stop them, he finds Marla and urges her to leave town. Once she's safely on a bus, he turns himself into the police. He confesses everything. Tyler's plan to erase credit card debt by blowing up financial buildings. The lead detective listens, but soon steps out to verify the information. The remaining officers, however, don't see him as a criminal. They see him as their leader. "You told us to do this," they say, preparing to castrate him. As they close in, the lead detective returns, unknowingly saving him. Seizing the moment, the narrator grabs an officer's gun and escapes. He races to one of the targeted buildings and finds the bomb in the parking garage. If Tyler knows how to build it, then he should know how to dismantle it. He works frantically and succeeds. But Tyler appears and attacks. The security cameras reveal a shocking sight. The narrator is fighting himself. Tyler is only in his mind. Tyler beats him badly, then throws him down the stairs. When the narrator wakes up, he's tied to a chair, staring down the barrel of a gun. Tyler, standing over him, insists that the plan must go forward. "This is about freedom," he says. "No one will get hurt." Then the narrator understands. The gun isn't in Tyler's hands. It's in his own. If he wants to stop Tyler, he has to stop himself. Looking Tyler in the eyes, he puts the gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. The bullet exits through his cheek. Tyler staggers back, a hole in his head. Then he vanishes. The recruits arrive, bringing Marla with them. The narrator tells them to leave. Marla, horrified by his wound, demands to know what happened. "It's okay," he tells her. Outside the window, the bombs start going off. One by one, the buildings crumble, falling into nothingness. As the world changes before their eyes, the narrator turns to Marla and says, "You met me at a very strange time in my life. And to meet a great or possibly also terrible story you can avoid watching in full length, I suggest you click my recaps on the right. Subscribe and drop a like to return for iconic movies like Fight Club. As always, grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon, my friend."